evening. I'm Pinky Webb. Tonight, we get On Point. From a small team of 5 lawyers in 2006, DivinaLaw has risen to become one of the Philippines' leading law firms. With now more than 100 attorneys in its roster and counting, the firm has expanded its expertise across a broad range of practice areas and industries, earning multiple awards along the way. How does it continue to set the standard in an evolving legal landscape? 20 years on, let's get on point with DivinaLaw founder, attorney, and Dean Nilo Divina. Dean,
Hi.
good to see you again.
Thank you, Pinky, for having me.
Very welcome.
Always a pleasure.
It's my pleasure, sir, and to congratulate you once again.
Thank you.
20 years of DivinaLaw, from humble, I would say what? I heard your speech during the celebration, modest beginnings to one of the more prominent and respected law firms. Again,
Thank you.
congratulations.
Thank you so much.
Did you always dream to become a lawyer? Was it really part of
Well,
the
I have
plan?
always dreamed to become a lawyer because as early as when I was 6 years old, the principal, the teacher would call me, "Where is that talkative guy? Where's the talkative student?" So everybody telling me, "You have to be a lawyer." So at that point, as early as I was 6 or 7 years old, it stuck to me that I had to become a lawyer.
But what did talkative mean? Did you talk?
I was philosopher daw. I was quote-unquote philosopher, so I argue a lot, I talk a lot, so I question everything. So you have to be a lawyer. That's what the principal, my teacher, told me. So from then on, I told myself, I have to be a lawyer.
And prior to that, any family members in the law industry?
No,
Are you
none.
the first?
I'm the first. Well, now I have a son who's also a lawyer, but I'm the first in the family.
I see. Okay. It all began from your speech during the celebration. And this I just found out because I was listening. You said that you used to work for a banking industry. And
Yep.
one
Yes.
day you just said, I'm leaving and I'm going to start a firm with 5 other lawyers. Was that accurate? Did
That's
I hear
right.
that
Yep,
correctly?
yep.
Tell us more about that. What made you want to leave the banking industry first and foremost?
Well, the Go family sold their shares to the C family. I was identified with the Go family. I was their personal legal counsel for also CORSEC and head of legal. Mom Tessie asked me to stay, and it was a high-paying, stable job. But you know, I have to pursue a dream, and I thought that the best way to move forward is to establish my own law firm, despite the fact that it's a very crowded, saturated profession.
Mm-hmm. What was the turning point? What made you jump from the banking industry to starting your small law firm?
You know, it's so easy to put up a law firm if you have a benefactor, right? So, and a good thing that I had a benefactor who gifted me with a good sum of money that served as a seedbed for my law firm. And in my speech, I even mentioned he bought the office computers, the printers, and even chose a date to found or to to start the law firm.
And this was in Makati?
Makati, yes.
And it was a room. It was just a room.
220 square meters.
It was pretty big. Okay, that's big enough.
Yeah.
Well, compared to what you have now, that's minuscule. But yeah, but 220 for start up. But I guess what I'm trying to figure out here is you had seed money, and no offense. That's why I was asking if anyone was a lawyer before you. You didn't have the name to back you up back then.
Yeah, they didn't have the name, but I was head of legal. So I thought that with the friendship that has been established all throughout the years, the relationship has been cultivated likewise, I thought I would have clients when I put up the law firm. I had 4 clients, yes.
And very prominent ones.
Very prominent ones and very supportive, and that gave me the confidence to start the law firm.
But prior to moving, you knew you had the 4 prominent personalities.
Yes.
Okay, all right. So that gave you the courage to actually do that. What was it like? I guess since the time you started with the 5 other lawyers that went with you, when was the time was there a time you said, I made a wrong decision? And on the contrary, when was the time you said this was the right move?
Well, I know not a moment that it occurred to me I made the wrong decision. I think you heard my speech also when I said that the first 3 months of practice were very lucrative, and the law firm was making money equivalent to my 3-year salary as an executive.
Yeah.
And my salary in the bank was, of course, not small. It was very significant, but 3 months of practice, equivalent to 3 years of salary as a bank executive, I told myself, I should have done this much earlier.
Yeah, I know. Dapat mas matagal ko na pala itong ginawa. But what do you attribute that to? Why did that happen so soon?
Well, the bank gave me 80 cases. 80, that's a lot. 80 cases, all on time charges. And then, of course, the 3 other clients of the firm are, big companies. They refer cases as well. And then just cases keep on pouring in. Transactions referred to us one after the other. And before I know it, we now have 124 lawyers.
Was it because of you? Was it because of, ang hirap naman ho talaga sigurong magbuhat ng sariling bangko? I've said that before. But was it you or was it the clients who were getting you as a lawyer? Kasi ganun yun, sometimes kinuha ni so-and-so eh.
Well, Tony is a good friend. Ma'am Tess, of course, the chairperson of Banco de Oro. So initially, we were the opposite side of the fence. So I was defending the takeover from, they tried to take over. Of course, they did succeed in taking over from the Go family in Equitable PCI Bank. And after that, she became a valid client and a dear friend. And of course, Ben Yao, the president of Steel Asia, the biggest steel manufacturer in the country, he's a friend of Tony Go. So, and then, of course, you have Tony T, likewise, a prominent businessman. Those four alone that gave me so much confidence to start the law firm.
It's also quite strange, I guess, that 2 opposing families in a takeover actually kept you.
Yep. In fact, all of the personalities in the takeover became my clients and friends. Winston Garcia and so many others.
And what would you attribute that to?
I don't know. Could be a good karma or being a good, I suppose, other than being I would like to believe I'm a competent lawyer. I guess being a good person also helps. Good karma, I think, attracts good vibes as well.
And you said that DivinaLaw is the only firm that?
Well, jokingly, I would say that DivinaLaw is the only law firm recognized in heaven.
All right. So the company now is, you have
124. When I gave a speech, 122, but 2 lawyers just joined the firm. We're now 124 officially as of today.
And how do you keep the lawyers to stay in the industry? Is it amongst lawyers? Is it normal for? Is it regular or normal for lawyers to stay in a particular firm, or is there a lot of movement from one firm to another?
Well, the attrition-rated law firm, of course, is high, but in our firm it's 10%, meaning below industry, and I guess because we pay our lawyers well, we take good care of them. We believe in work-life balance. We are complete. We have a clinic, we have a doctor, and we offer free meals, breakfast, lunch, and dinner. And we go abroad once a year.
And what made you do that?
Well.
Why all these benefits given to the employees or the lawyers?
I believe I have to make them happy so they can be more motivated to work for the firm.
What was the motto, starting from 5 lawyers plus you, to 124 now? What was the defining factor for you that actually made them attractive? What made you attractive to them, rather?
Okay. What made the firm attractive to them? I guess it's in industry. I mean, it's in non-industry. We're the highest paying law firm, at least for associates. And then we mentor our lawyers as well. And then it so happened, I'm very fortunate, I'm also teaching in the top 2 law colleges in the Philippines. So I have a pipeline for talent. And the other partners of the firm also teach in the other prominent or best law schools, Ateneo, Sambeda. So it was easy for us to get talent from the best law schools in the country.
Are you still dean?
USC? I always get that kind of question, and I'm still the dean for the last 17 years.
Right, yeah. We actually met a couple of times before when you were dean, and still is rather the dean of UST. How much of a factor is that, being a dean of UST, to having your law firm in terms of, but you mentioned that already, attracting them to actually join you?
I didn't have a pipeline, of course, for talent. It forces me to be updated. Of course, I have to read up on the recent cases. I have to be abreast of recent developments. I mean, students now are very, I would say, very critical. If you are not prepared for your class, they will see it. And you become subject of, posts on social media. You want that. You don't want that other. You want a good reputation, so that, as I said, you get to attract, you get to motivate them to teach, to study, and then eventually, well, join the firm.
All right. There's a lot of, you were saying, the trends now that have changed from the time you graduated, passed the bar, and now being one of, well, having one of the, as I mentioned a while ago, most respected and prominent law firms. I wanted to ask also how the landscape has actually changed from then till now. How fast-moving has it been for someone like you, who probably has had experience both in terms of when you were much younger to how technology has evolved now?
Well, law practice is more dynamic now compared to 20 years ago. And, well, technology, of course, has changed the way we do things. No? And now we are seeing more specialists. Before, a lawyer is a general practitioner. He can do everything. He's good at everything. But now you need to have experts on data privacy, on cybersecurity, on mergers and acquisitions, on taxation, and so forth and so on. So no more such thing as general practitioner. In our law firm, I'm very fortunate that we have the best experts in different fields or areas of practice. And then third, I would say we're subject to more public scrutiny. You know, one wrong mistake of a lawyer, one wrong sentence, one wrong post can generate negative publicity. And can damage one's reputation.
Has that happened?
Well, we have a standing policy in the firm not to post anything critical because you never can tell. That person can be an eventual client, right?
Right.
So try to be wholesome and as positive as possible. And in those cases that lawyers do fail, we call their attention. We always say that you have to be positive and wholesome in your text.
I see. So they are told, you know, that
Yes,
there
we
are
have a policy,
parameters
yes.
by which they can post on
They
social
can just post
media.
anything. There are
Even in their
consequences.
personal account.
Yes. Yeah. If you don't like that policy, then you can always leave the firm.
All right. We're going to take a very short break. We'll continue our discussion with Dean Nilo Divina when we return. Stay tuned. This is On Point. Welcome back. Still with us, DivinaLaw founder, Dean Nilo Divina. I was reading something about DivinaLaw, and it says in your profile that it takes pride in advocating and practicing dynamic lawyering. What is dynamic lawyering?
Dynamic lawyering, you know, because we are DivinaLaw, so there was one brainstorming session, what could be a good slogan or rallying cry, you know, for the firm, and somebody thought about dynamic lawyering. So dynamic, of course, will do everything possible with the bounds of reason and ethics to make our clients happy. You know? So client satisfaction is a
Within the
burning
bounds
part.
of ethics.
Of course, it has to be within the bounds of ethics and
course.
reason, right? So you have to do everything possible to make your clients happy.
You mentioned earlier about areas of practice and expertise. What is the DivinaLaw firm known for?
We're a full-service law firm, so we have experts in all areas of practice. But me, I'm a corporate lawyer, so of course, that's what I teach as well. I write written books on commercial law, so I'm more known as a corporate lawyer. But we have, you know, as I said, the best, good lawyers in data privacy, intellectual property, tax, so forth and so on.
Were there lawyers that you wanted to join your firm who went somewhere else?
Oh, of course. Competition is tough, right?
Is
so,
it? That's
yes,
that's where I wanted to get to. How tough is the competition in your industry?
Very, because well, the other top law firms also recruit for the best law schools in the country. I remember there was one time that the managing partner of a big law firm, bigger than us, called me up, Nilo. I heard that you got so and so in your firm. You know, please take good care of this lawyer because she's very good. Dean, sorry, we cannot match your offer. That's why he's with you. Yeah.
All right. So apart from that, is there like a rallying cry? I mean, among your peers, among the people who work for you, what are the biggest challenges as a founder do you actually face? Having 124
If you have
lawyers.
124
That's
lawyers.
124 lawyers
Yes.
with 1,204 interpretations of the law.
That's what I wanted to say. That if you have 124 lawyers, they have different opinions, right?
Yeah.
Different interpretations, but we all have to row along the same direction, right? So I mean, you are bound by the same philosophy, same purpose, and goals and aspirations, and that's what keeps us united. Idiosyncrasies, peculiarities, of course, are trumped by the need for togetherness, need to be unified, need to be a team, a family, and an army.
What if there is a case that you don't believe in? Would DivinaLaw take it?
It's a very tough question. If there's a case I don't believe in, there ought to be good reasons for rejecting a case. There are cases that we have to decline given, of course, the charism or the profile of the firm. But we have to say it in a very nice way, and we make, of course, endorsements to other law firms. But it's very tough to decline an engagement.
Could you cite without naming?
Drugs, of course, drugs, we say no to drugs.
Okay. What if it's a person who was allegedly, you know nga po, you said no to drugs, but allegedly caught with drugs, but you knew or you believe that that person was not carrying the drugs and the person was set up?
It's very ticklish, so I would rather not. So we're not good in this kind of practice.
I see. So it's really not something you'd rather dip your hands?
Well, I'd rather be known as counsel for the conglomerates and rather counsel for...
All right, let's talk about trends. Has there been a rise, number one, in young lawyers, in the number of young lawyers? And I guess the question also would be, what stands out with the new generation of lawyers? Okay,
something I have to point out, Biggie, there are more women lawyers now than male lawyers.
Are there?
In UST, for example, and this is true across the board, it's now 80-20.
Wow.
During my time, it was 80-20 for men. Now it's 80-20 for women. So there are more female lawyers now in the country compared to male lawyers. No?
Sorry to cut you, but why would that be? Did you try to look into that?
Also, I'm also asking myself, well, how come there are many women law students, now women lawyers? And I was told because they're more patient, they're more into details. No? Men are logical, of course. Women are emotional. But women can be so good in nitty-gritty, right? So men see the bigger picture, but women see the final points.
The details, yeah. Okay, sorry. Then you were saying that among the new generation.
Among generation, they're more technologically advanced. But one thing I noticed, they give more emphasis on work-life balance, mental health, of course, good and excellent working conditions. And some don't have sense of permanence, no? They always like to explore. In a law firm, if they stay with you, after 3 years, you're good. But the first 2 years is the toughest part. Because this is where they ask themselves, is this good for me?
Is this where
Am
I belong?
better fit to this kind of practice, so forth and so on.
So that's the threshold on the third year?
The first 2 years, that's the toughest part. If they stay beyond that, that means they will stay with you. But as I said, during that period, so they ask themselves so many questions.
And that's the difference from the past. In the past, pag sumali ka siguro ng law firm,
Kasi dati, kahit minumura ka ng managing partner, okay sa'yo. Pag ngayon, mapataas na ng boses mo, alsa balut agad yung mga ibang associates.
Yeah, or...
Of course, I don't raise my voice. I don't never shout, never scold my associates. But, one or two senior partners probably will raise the voice to emphasize the point. But that can be taken negatively, right, by associates already. And we have one experience. Senior partner just raised his voice to make a point. The following day, I have a letter of resignation from the associate. I said, what happened? Yeah. Sir, it's like this. But what? You were not scolded. You just tried to make a point. Sir, I'm sorry, I'm going to take it.
I see.
But generally, of course, I have to be clear about this. They are smarter, they're more technologically advanced than lawyers 20 years ago. But I always tell them that technology may change how we do things, but hard work, integrity will never run or go out of style.
How has technology changed?
A lot. So, of course, AI, as you know, has changed things completely. I have a signing policy in the law firm. They have to use AI as long as they validate and vet, of course, the output generated by whatever AI app that they're using.
You have, looking at your kids, is there a succession plan?
Well, I have my fourth son passed the bar last year. My youngest is now into his third year. So hopefully I will have two lawyers soon in the law firm.
Soon? So not...
I mean, I have one, right?
Okay.
So the other one is into third year. It's in third year already. So hopefully in 1.5 years, he will also join the ranks of lawyers.
As a lawyer now, how long has it been? How long have you been a lawyer, Dean?
1990, so that's about, 36 years? Yes.
36 years.
36 years.
If there was one thing you think that should be changed in the justice system or improved in the justice system, what should be improved? I mean, we all know it naman, Dean, di ho ba? Justice delayed, justice denied. Matagal ho talaga mga kaso dito. But it's not really to criticize the government, but obviously as a lawyer, and because you know it, what could be done better? Something doable, ah?
Thank you. The Chief Justice is doing very well now for the judiciary and the country. I mean, things have changed a lot positively because of the efforts, the leadership of the Chief Justice, and of course the other members of the Supreme Court as well. Access justice, I think, is the biggest problem because you need to afford a lawyer, right, before you can go to court. And lawyers can be very expensive. Of course, you have the Public Assistance Office, the PAO, but they are understaffed and undermanned compared to the number of persons wanting or seeking legal assistance. So I think that's the biggest problem, access to justice.
Access
to justice.
To justice, yeah. And I guess access to lawyers. Maybe also good to throw this question. Why is there always so much delays in cases? I mean, is that something that can be really prevented? Or because nasanay na rin ho siguro tayo na ganun, tinatanggap na lang natin?
Lawyers kasi sometimes can be good also in delaying cases. Right? And you have to see both sides. You can just see one angle of the case. You have to consider the other side. And that will take time. You hear both sides will take time.
Obviously, I guess would it be fair to say we also need more judges?
More judges, of course. More prosecutors, more public servants,
right.
And more courts.
Right. Aspiring lawyers, how would you, maybe if you were to talk to someone who aspires to be a lawyer, obviously it's something that you would encourage an individual to do so. But what is that person expected to, what is the expectation of a lawyer now as compared to before?
Well, the expectation now is they think that if you're a lawyer, it is a ticket to a good life, no? That you can afford to buy a car, you can afford to have your own house, you can afford to travel abroad. No? But don't be a lawyer just for the perks that go with it. Of course, the title will open doors for you, but at the end of the day, it's still the character that will sustain your practice of law. And I have to say that it's good to be a competent lawyer, but it's even better to be a good human being.
As part of your 20th anniversary milestone, DivinaLaw actually has a special book entitled 20 Years on Record, DivinaLaw 20, which documents the firm's history of legal service and growth. Maybe briefly tell us more about that, Dean, please.
It tells about the history of the firm, how we started, of course, with 6 lawyers, how we became what we are now, thanks be to God, and of course, the hard work, dedication of all of our staff, no? And the dreams for the future, on what lies ahead. No?
Ano pa hong kulang sa DivinaLaw? What do you expect to succeed in, or
we want to have branches in New York, China, and Japan, and then hopefully Dubai also when things get better in the Middle East.
But is there already one up?
We have one in Tokyo.
Okay.
We have a collaboration office with the Sakura law firms. We have a space and presence there. We have a rep office in Singapore. In the next 2 to 5 years, we're targeting China, New York, and Dubai.
And why are you going worldwide?
Because these international financial centers. What I would like to happen is for foreigners or foreign corporations that would like to do business in the Philippines, their first law firm in mind has to be DivinaLaw.
Got it. DivinaLaw founder, Dean Nilo Divina. Pleasure to have you, sir.
Thank you so much.
Again, congratulations. Thank you for your time. That's On Point. I'm Pinky Webb. Thank you for watching.